clarification from your comment just now, why did you say the author is judgmental? Look at the lines that the author wrote.
Fragile.
All right. Yeah, every single line, the author included at least one negative word. First line, fragile. Number two, breaking, negative verb. Number three, all right, a weak alarm. Number four, saddening. So we can say that he is being judgmental because from the words used, they are all presented negative remarks, criticizing the how weak the young generation can be and did not contribute anything for the future nations. Okay, and then of course you boleh relate dengan the tone is said to be very personal. Alright, um, it sounds personal because over here the author is only looking at one side, criticizing, and everything leading to the negative remark of the young generation. Okay, so bila you all dapat artikel nanti, try untuk get what is the author's argument first. You kena plan dengan you punya partner. You know, you all nak tengok apa dulu. Okay, adakah you all nak identify first what is the main focus for every paragraph? Okay, tak ada masalah. Next, you all nak tengok apa? Is it that you are trying to find out what is the argument? What happened kalau dalam artikel tu ada 10 argument? Takkan you nak buat 10. Alright? If you happen to identify a lot of arguments, be selective. Sebab kita ada words limit untuk article analysis ni, which is only yang you all kena come out 6 to 800 sahaja. Okay? Sebab kita nak you all berfokus. We don't want you to just simply write anything that you found. Okay? So now, bila kita nak understand the author writing style as deep as possible, we also would have to take a look at other criteria element, which is what we refer to purpose, tone, audience, and also bias in language. Alright? Okay. Generally, we write to inform. Okay? When we say to inform, it means that you have your own goal that you wanted to fulfill, delivering messages to people. Maksudnya ikutlah kalau kata you nak inform how to make a shortcut scoring A in ELC 501. Anything that you wanted to deliver messages across, that means you write to inform. Okay, kita juga ada right to persuade dan juga to entertain. Okay, so for writing to inform, kebiasaannya kita guna basic questions, 5 W's, 1 H. Alright. Meanwhile, in a text, dia tak semestinya you bind to only one particular purpose. Some cases, the author also writes importantly ataupun kita kata dominantly to persuade rather than to inform. Sebab bila you all read something, waktu tu adalah waktu we can say the author wanted to inform on something. Tapi bila you all go through words level, you notice many strong adjective used. So many commands ataupun kita kata phrases yang encourage the readers to believe the author. So we know that this masterpiece is written to persuade the readers, okay, to convince the audience to agree with his or her position. Right. Facts are used to inform the audience about the topic, support his or her position on the topic. Kalau kita tengok sample tadi, actually this is also to persuade. Why did we can say it is to persuade the readers? Look at the phrases, the structure of the sentences. They are all presenting a very extreme messages. Used nowadays are very fragile. They are easily breaking inside and outside. So dia banyak bagi case examples where in what way does our young generation is very fragile. Tapi dia punya kelemahan dia tak ada strong supporting details to support his statements. Okay. So kalau you all nak be very highly persuasive, you have to ensure they are supporting details included. Kalau you all sekadar reflect your statement without facts,
Madam,
yeah,
can you
yes,
give the example of supporting details tu macam mana?
as simple as research finding. Remember when we get into the different types of supporting detail, kita ada research findings, kita ada example. Okay, so you gunalah mana-mana yang berkaitan sesuai that it makes your particular ataupun the author's paragraph tu ataupun statement tu memang kuat. Okay, contohnya macam kita tengok yang short paragraph tadi tu. Kalau dia, let's say, this is worrying because this shows a weak alarm for the future nation. According to American Journal, it has proven that 90% of young generation has failed to perform very good in their academic, contoh. So bila dia ada appropriate findings which supports dia punya statement before, it makes the audience or the reader to be more convincing lah over his or her points. Okay. Kalau mana-mana articles yang you tengok very general observation macam yang I bagi you tadi, itu adalah sekadar general observation. There's no expert opinion, there's no expert observation pun. So sekadar personal belief. Remember when we get into the supporting details, when it comes to belief or opinion, it cannot be verified through experiments sebab yang tu dia expressed, they are all expressed via your emotions, what you are feeling. So there's no way you boleh support ataupun you boleh buat eksperimen, melainkan kalau you memang conduct a special study examining on the same variables. Okay. So for the high persuasion level, lagi banyak data supported, lagi tinggilah dia punya persuasion level. Okay. Another platform that we can see kebiasaannya, kalau dalam konteks written text, we can see via articles ataupun kita tengok contoh newspapers or they are quotes by someone special or someone influential. Okay, most of the time advertisement. Nowadays kita tengok advertisement dia sama ada dalam bentuk printed ataupun verbal. So kalau kata verbal, contoh hari tu raya kan banyak many companies release their advertisement. And we've been known that when it comes to Iklan Raya, Petronas always gives the best impactful advertisement. Why? Because they know that through advertising, they try to present the messages. It is either in the form of acting or at the same time it involved with the verbal dialogue. Okay, campaigns, political speeches, stories, they are all happen for the sake of gaining persuasive purpose. Writing to entertain, I would say like a narrative lah. Sebab bila you sekadar nak give humor, give entertainment to your readers, so you will have to use a lot of descriptions, okay, to describe about what is going on. Some article, yes, you will notice at some parts the author also write to entertain. So kat sini you all kena make sure if you wanted to mention in your analysis writing to entertain, you kena ada justification why. Kenapa? From which part that you take it as writing to entertain. Alright? Alright. When it comes to the tone, it means that the tone ni, it can be verified or identified via the words used. Words are very powerful, you see. It can kill people psychologically, of course, it cannot kill you physically, but it can kill people, or kita kata significantly affect the one's psychological condition. It can influence you punya mental. Alright, so from whatever the author is feeling, or from the words used, it expresses the author's mood. These are all to be understood. Okay, kalau you all tengok, okay, if you could go back to the sample of the paragraph just now. In the first line already tell us about the possibility of the author's punya character. Kita nak cuba faham how the author ni dia cuba behave dalam dia punya penulisan. Kita tengok dia ni seorang yang macam mana. Alright, kalau you jumpa face to face, lagi senang untuk you baca, untuk you faham dia punya personality. Tapi bila penulisan, you have to really understand word by word and then interpret, then you will get to see the full picture. Okay, so in this case, kita tengok first line lagi dia dah start being very judgmental ataupun kita kata very insensitive. Youth nowadays are very fragile. Dia ada quantifier very. Sebab bila kita kata you are fragile versus you are very fragile, emphasis tu we can see that how much he is not liking the youth nowadays. Youth nowadays are very fragile. They are easily breaking inside and outside. Dia mudah koyak lah kalau dalam Malaynya kita kata. Right? Their attitudes are worrying because they have been showing a weak alarm to the future nations. Dah lah very fragile. Lepas tu seolah-olah nak kata tak ada harapan untuk dijadikan role model for the future generation. This is very saddening. Maksudnya saddening. Sangat menyedihkan. It is an ongoing process. So we can reflect the tone of this paragraph is that the author to being very insensitive, being very critical, being very judgmental, being very negative towards criticizing young generation. Okay. So types of tone ni, kalau you all tengok, kita boleh nampak dari sudut two sides, objective or subjective. Okay, bila kita katakan objektif ni, maksudnya from the reflection of the entire author's writing tu, everything has been decided and fixed. Maksudnya, assuming that the author writes having no angles of preference, dia memang sangat neutral. Okay. Contohnya, instead of say, youth today are very fragile, he mentioned that in this challenging era, many things have been turning out to be not as easy as before. So dia sangat berlapis. Dia nak go very neutral. Okay, so impersonal. Pronoun yang diguna pun very inclusive. We. Dia tak ada guna, dia tak refer pun kepada particular word. Rather than showing young generation, they use all. Public, crowd, okay, unbiased and unemotional. Meanwhile, from the sample yang kita dapat tadi tu, it is very subjective because we can see how much the author being expressing his personal opinion. And kita nampak bias kat situ. Apa biasnya? Dia memang tak suka young generation sebab dia banyak kritik. Not just kritik tapi judgmental. Kenapa kita kata judgmental? Sebab every statement yang dia come out tak ada support. So memang sah-sah itu adalah dia punya personal opinion. Okay? What about his emotional state? We can say that maybe from the way he wrote this up, we can reflect that he was not favorite young generation because kenapa kita kata dia tak favorite? Apa justification kita? Dia hanya tengok on the bad side only. Of course, human beings, they are all imperfect. We are imperfect. Kita ada positif, kita ada negatif. Tapi kat sini kesemuanya negatif. Alright? Dah lah kesemuanya negatif. And he strong negative adjectives. So bila you nak analyse, I want you to be very critical. You argue dengan your partner. Okay, you cakap bias. In what way it is bias? Apa bukti dia bias? What are the words yang carry the bias language? What happen kalau dia bias? What about the content of that paragraph tu? Dia nak cakap pasal apa? What about his argument? Argument premises, what we learned last week, dia categorize as argument ke tak? Adakah conclusion yang dia buat tu an argument ke tak? And conclusion tu, is it rather inductive ke deductive? So you kena connect whatever yang you been learning from the article analysis. Itu cara untuk you strengthen your understanding and your memory. As you can see, I did not say it strengthen your memory. Understanding. So bila you dah pegang understanding tu, memory will be no issue. Confirm you boleh ingat. It will implant it well in your head because your understanding keeps those very well. Okay. So university student, you all dah degree, you kena work smart. There is no more untuk you hafal. Kita tak nak. Contoh kalau kata you hafal, right? Let's say, ni. These are example of subjective tone. You nak hafal, for what? Present. Sebab artikel nanti pun, there's no guarantee untuk ada all these subjective tones. Okay? So, guys, let's take a look at example so that you can have better picture. Remember our motto, okay? Not just for ALC lah. Every assessment, kalau boleh kita nak score as perfectly as possible. When I say perfect, bukannya bermaksud you kena dapat solid 20, yang ni 35 ke 25? We have 25 plus 35 dah 60. So this one is, if I'm not mistaken, 25. Okay, Madam pun dah lupa dah. Takkan you all nak expect only, boleh lah Madam asal lepas separuh markah. Okay, because I told my student, kalau you tak nak fail, you kena make sure separuh markah untuk setiap assessment you kena lepas. Contohnya kalau macam assessment ni 12.5 lah, separuh markah 13 lah kita kata. So you kena lepas 13. So assuming lah kalau you dapat 14 out of 25, still a lot of marks gone. How can you make sure the other assessment you tak hilang banyak markah? Right? So that is why at the very beginning of the assessment, kita nak score all out. Because we know already the other assessment tu a lot more challenging. Okay? Right. I guess that is all we can do right now. Our funds are limited. Considering those times when we had it worse than this, I suppose things are not so bad right now. Okay. The way you nak tackle tu ni banyak. Dengan syarat bila whatever your answer is tu, justification tu dia kena. So in this case, kita tengok number one, the pronoun that is used, the first, dia memang start dengan I. Tapi dia inclusive sebab apa? I guess that is all we can do right now. Dia being collective. Maksudnya they include the rest of the people. Our funds are limited. Okay. I suppose things are not so bad. Maksudnya walaupun fund kita ni terhad, tak adalah teruk sangat. So kat sini, tone ataupun kita kata karakter author ni, he's being very positive. Walaupun funds tu limited tapi he's being positive sebab dia cakap things are not so bad. That is all we can do right now. So dia tackle on which part yang dia orang boleh buat. Kalau dia go something like this, I guess that is all we can do right now. Our funds are limited, so things do not go according to our ways. So kalau yang tu kita nampak, this sounds very pessimistic. Dia nampak lebih kepada negative items. Okay, so or you can say that the tone is tolerant. Justification kita because from the phrase, that is all we can do right now, and I suppose things are not so bad. It shows that the author accept the situation. Okay. In example 5, this is my house. There are 5 rooms. 4 upstairs and 1 downstairs. My room is the one downstairs. So kat sini kita dah tahu information dia. Kita tengok karakter author ni dia jenis yang decisive. Something has been decided, so this is it. My room is the one downstairs. So you cannot question it. It's not there, not here, but one in downstairs. So the tune is objective. Okay. This is another more example lah. Okay, sebab so ni you all boleh take out any adjective. Okay, adjective yang reflect what is the author feeling, emotion, alright? Okay, any questions at the moment? So far so good? Boleh eh?
Yes, ma'am.
Alright. Okay, but before that, can we take 5 for a while? Okay?
Sure.
56 kita resume. Kita habiskan ini. Today kita tackle yang ni sahaja.